the 15th century to come with Gita. Global University. This privilege to welcome you all on the occasion of opening ceremony of one program on holistic development outcome-based innovation. Well, my first was duty to welcome our honorable guest on the opening ceremony, Colonel Commander Professor Dr. Rajinder Kumar, Vice Chancellor, Science and Technology, Murthan Sonipur. I extend the warm welcome of the program to Umashankar Pachori, General Secretary, Bharatiya Shiksha Mandal, Nagpur. To Chancellor Ma'am, Poonam Goyal, Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Shikji, to Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Ajay Pradhan. Registrar Professor Dean Admission, all the deans, distinguished guests, scholars, and my dear from Sterling Global. First of all, greetings and congratulations to the organizing committee of Sterling Global, my colleague, Mr. Mukesh Yadav, Mr. Tanu Sukreda, and the entire remarkable effort to enhance the intellect among and definitely become a platform for teachers. Friends, as Dr. A.P.J. Abdul said, teachers have a great mission to unite the minds of youth. To pursue this mission, OSU always strives to achieve excellence with the objective of being glory to our nation. A Confucian philosopher said, I forget, teach me, I remember, involve me, I learn. Objective of being as I think in this universe, there are three persons who always think that the student must grow. Be progressive, and get the ultimate success. These are mother, father, and a if I read one set, others see it as ordinary people. But in the eyes of the student, we all are heroes. So a grand salute to serving the nation as it should to be. Before starting the proceedings, I would like to reveal the coverage of the Global University. It is a pleasure to welcome all to the OSU, progressive thinking, higher learning, your aspiration. So friends, now I would request the secretary for innovation of Ma Saraswati, for Goddess Saraswati. I would request to Chancellor sir to escort the dignitaries. Oh Goddess Saraswati, glory to you. You are a treasure of good things, the goddess of wisdom, art and the force of desire. It is our tradition to worship Goddess Saraswati. So that it means to pay tribute to Mata Saraswati and to enlighten. Now I would request Dr. Mr. Padar is a winner of having 27 years of career. He has proven expertise in both academic and non-academic. He is a winner of India Development Council Award 2018 in the area of academic development. Winner of Rashtriya Gaurav for various services and outstanding performance. Current editor of Technical Research. Keynote speaker, special guest in the webinar. He anchored 3 books: Digital Marketing, Global Business, and International Agenda. Recently, he has also for entrepreneurs, and curriculum design through Bharti. So please welcome Dr. Ajay Badari for a welcome note.
Thank you, Dr. Today's event, Dr. Colonel Cadet, Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor of DGRES, Guest of Honor, we have on the dais our dean, Dr. Sumesh Jain. Ladies and gentlemen, I consider all have been considered. At the outset, I congratulate the university team who is working hard to make this day possible. We have conceived this idea almost 2 months before, when the Honorable Chancellor and the Pro-Chancellor had asked us that we should give opportunity to our faculty, and not only our faculty but our external faculty, to show that they can polish their ability and capability and skill. So with that, in the just 3 years of university, after 2019, when the university has came into existence, we have conducting the 4th FDP in a row. So in a short period of time, and in the time of when the corona pandemic is always we have actually embraced the new normal, and we have embraced IT so that our faculty development is not hampered at any time. Friends, the IT role in the FDP or in the academic is rising, and I believe that there is any kind of limit for IT to be explored in the academic. We have seen the historical changes and the conversion, that how IT has developed as a full platform for the academy. And this pandemic is actually managed in the southern part of world, that how the IT can be utilized and evolved for the academic as unstoppable. And our journey has been fantastic over the last 3 years. Even in the pandemic, we have provided more than 250 classes to the students, and that has been become possible. The topic of this FDP is very relevant. When we are going to the inspections and other things, the NEC is also actually that it has to be outcome-based learning and teaching. The students need to understand the things and they need to be organized and put up their effort in the outcome-based. There are many pedagogical awards like flip classroom technology, like broom technology, and the balance scorecard. What actually in the outcome-based learning. Here in the university, I am very happy that we are also utilizing those new pedagogy, and very shortly we are going to do balance scorecard faculty and our operations as academics and the administration. So those kind of work will be utilizing, and this everything will be focusing on the basic and modern tools and technology, so that our teachers should be in front of utilizing the IT and doing the outcome-based teaching. Our curriculum has been revised. Our curriculum is given a very new shape where the objective and outcome-based curriculum has been developed. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel that the university is actually going on the right path very rapidly. And in the last 3 years, we are conducting the fourth 1 week long FDP. And here, we in this conference, in this FDP, we will be having around 23 speakers all across the country. We are experts in their specialization. We will be dealing the delivering with the faculty and meeting them to polish their skills. Friends, we are just not wanted us to get stopped after passing out from the university or something, or achieving even the PhD. It is our integrity, our requirement that we should be always so that we can transform the knowledge of the skill to the students. So with that aim and objective, this FDP that we stand, and we will be going to deliberate the topics in the next 7 days. At we will be discussing about the organizer as the university came into the existence in 2019, and today we have 14 distinctive schools. The latest one is to giving back to the society by giving the teaching to the differently able students. So with that, I am once again welcoming our chief guest, our guest of honor, the dignitaries on the dais, the participants, the audience, all are welcome, and thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The first session will be started by the topic of day 1, personal and professional development skills. The session will be taken by Colonel Now I will be source of or leader, Dr. Poonam Goyalji, for words of wisdom.
Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Vice Chancellor, and dear audience, a very good morning. Sterling Global University has it towards its quantitative and income matching the university that is the study is a big social responsibility, and this is consideration has by the most noble profession today. It gives that an event is at OSU session dear teacher, that learning that stands on creating new dimensions of all the parties as an to explore and learn the new assessment. FDP is not only of duality for the teacher, but it also better. I want to give a thank you to all the participating teachers for learning that personal societal organizing members of for untiring efforts. I further express my sincere gratitude to honorable speakers during the activity. I also express my warm wishes to thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Timely university. Now, please, before inviting Dr. Umashankar Paturi, is a brief description of this renowned personality. Dr. Umashankar Paturi has received in history, literature, and has done research work in history. For 6 years, he has been the chairman of Public Participation Committee of Government College. He was also the chairman of Government Model College Gwalior for 2 years. He was the founding member of the Council of Raja Man Singh Art University 3 years. Dr. Umashankar Paturi is a true scholar. Manas. He has also presented his views with the title of Jaane Apne Kaam Katha on YouTube. 207 days. Please give a big hand for. He is a prolific writer and has written many books. 2 of his books have been published by the Madhya Pradesh. He has delivered lectures in various institutes throughout the country. He is having more than 26 years experience in various government and after voluntary retirement from the post of professor, he has devoted himself a number of disciples under the Guru Shishya Tree. At present, he has nominated as a member of implementation committee set up for higher education by the government. Dr. Umashankar, after serving the Bharatiya Shiksha Mandal in the capacity of Secretary, Bharatiya Shiksha Mandal. So, ज़्यादा वक्त न लेते हुए, I am inviting guest of honor, Paturi. Over to Paturi.
थैंक यू सर। आज के इस उद्घाटन सत्र के चीफ गेस्ट हम सबके मार्गदर्शक प्रोफेसर
उमाशंकर पचौरी
जी,
I would request to integrate in technical support for.
Am I audible or not? Am I audible? अनायत सर, मेरी आवाज आ रही है? आवाज आ रही है क्या मेरी?
जी सर, कंटिन्यू। आ रही है सर, आ रही है।
मैं यहाँ एकदम जंगल में हूँ और जंगल में मेरे पास बहुत संसाधन नहीं है। मैं केवल मोबाइल से सीधा आपके साथ जुड़ा हुआ हूँ। समस्त जी जी जी, मैं आप सबको सादर प्रणाम करता हूँ। ओम स्टर्लिंग ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सिटी की पूरी टीम को बधाई देता हूँ। जैसा कि उनके नाम के आरंभ में है, ओम से जिसका आरंभ हुआ, ऐसा ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सिटी की जब हम बात करते हैं तो ओम तो ग्लोबल ही है। ये जो हमारा ओम है, ये ठीक से अगर हमको समझ में आ जाए तो हमारे जीवन के सारे संकट समाप्त हो जाएं। शिक्षक बनने के लिए इस ओम को समझना बहुत आवश्यक है। अकार, उकार और मकार। अकार अर्थात ब्रह्म, उकार अर्थात प्रकृति। इन दोनों से मिलकर इस जगत की सृष्टि होती है। भौतिक और आध्यात्मिक दोनों धरातल पर उन्नति किए बिना कोई शिक्षक नहीं बन सकता। शिक्षक जिनके लिए हम यह कार्यक्रम आयोजित कर रहे हैं, बहुत जन्मों के पुण्य एकत्रित होते हैं तब मनुष्य जन्म मिलता है। ये पुण्य 2 गुने होते हैं तब भारत भूमि में जन्म मिलता है, और जब ये पुण्य 3 गुने होते हैं तब शिक्षक बनने का अवसर प्राप्त होता है। इसलिए टीचर बनने के लिए, कहीं फैकल्टी के रूप में काम करने के लिए हमारे पुण्यवान होने में कोई डाउट नहीं है, किसी तरह का कोई संदेह नहीं है। आप सब बहुत पुण्यवान लोग हैं, अन्यथा तो परमात्मा आपको इस क्षेत्र में आने ही नहीं देता। आप कोई प्रतियोगी परीक्षा पास करके कहीं IAS, IPS और बाकी इसी तरह की जगह चले गए होते। अगर आप नहीं जा पाए हैं तो आप पक्का मानिए आप बहुत पुण्यवान हैं, क्योंकि राष्ट्र की नई पीढ़ी को गढ़ने का काम केवल भारत की नहीं तो ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सिटी के नाते तो संपूर्ण ब्रह्मांड की सारी व्यवस्था को ठीक करने का काम शिक्षक के जिम्मे है। इस नाते यदि आप अपनी भूमिका को समझते हैं, शिक्षक को आचार्य बनना पड़ेगा। अर्थात थ्योरी और प्रैक्टिकल दोनों को ठीक से समझने की आवश्यकता है। अगर आप ऐसा कर पाएंगे तो निश्चित रूप से न केवल अपना बल्कि पूरी मानवता का कल्याण कर पाएंगे। भारतीय शिक्षण मंडल शिक्षण में भारतीयता लाने के लिए काम करने वाला संगठन है, और शिक्षण में भारतीयता का अर्थ ही है आत्मीयता। आत्मवत सर्वभूतेषु, प्रत्येक प्राणी मात्र को अपना स्वरूप ही समझना यह समझते ही शिक्षक के लिए विद्यार्थी उसके अपने बच्चे हो जाते हैं और तब फिर किसी प्रकार की कठिनाई नहीं होती, बहुत आसानी के साथ हम सब अपनी बात दूसरों तक न केवल पहुंचा सकते हैं बल्कि उनके अंतर मन की बात को भी सुन सकते हैं। फैकल्टी केवल वैखरी में बोलने से नहीं चल पाएगी। शिक्षक की भूमिका केवल वाणी से ये शब्द आप तक पहुंचाने के लिए नहीं है, जब तक आप उस अनुभूति को मध्यमा, पश्यंती और परा तक नहीं ले जाते। इसलिए आप जिस विषय में काम करते हैं, आपको अपने विषय का पूरी तरह से अनुशीलन, उसकी अनुभूति और उसकी अनुभूति के साथ साथ जो भारतीय दृष्टि है उसमें उसको समझना। इसलिए राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में जो नई व्यवस्था आई है, उस नई व्यवस्था के अंतर्गत हम सबको भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा को भी समझना पड़ेगा। पूरी दुनिया डेवलपमेंट की ओर दौड़ी है, हम भी यहाँ यही कह रहे हैं, फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम। लेकिन इस डेवलपमेंट को करने के लिए नया टर्म जो अभी आया, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, धारणक्षम विकास की जब बात करते हैं तो समग्र दृष्टि की बात करनी पड़ेगी। खंडित दृष्टि से काम नहीं चलेगा, क्योंकि जब तक हमारी दृष्टि समग्र नहीं होगी तब तक हम केवल टुकड़ों टुकड़ों में ही चीजों को समझ पाएंगे। एक समस्या हल करने के लिए अनुसंधान करेंगे, वही समस्या का सॉल्यूशन दूसरी समस्या का कारक बन जाएगा। आज का जो सबसे बड़ा संकट है वह गुरु और शिष्य के बीच विश्वास का संकट है। उस समस्या को हल किए बिना, अपने विद्यार्थियों के मन में शिक्षकों के प्रति आदर उत्पन्न किए बिना इस स्थिति को कैसे भी ठीक नहीं किया जा सकता। भारत की उस समग्र दृष्टि को जाने बिना, उस आत्मीयता की अनुभूति किए बिना, वो मात्रवत संबंधों के बिना हम कैसे भी अपनी भूमिका का ठीक से निर्वाह नहीं कर पाएंगे। चाहे जितने संसाधन आ जाएं, चाहे जितनी टेक्नोलॉजी आ जाए, चाहे जितने नए विश्वविद्यालय खोल लिए जाएं, गुरु और शिष्य के मध्य विश्वास के संकट को हल किए बिना इस स्थिति को कैसे भी ठीक नहीं किया जा सकता। इसलिए जब इस प्रकार के कार्यक्रम हो तो हमारे चिंतन का विषय कैसे हम अपने आप को अप टू डेट करते हैं। शिक्षक अपूर्व होता है। मैं जहां बैठा हूं वहां कल बता रहे थे वैद्य जी, अष्टांग हृदय के पहले ही सूत्र में वैद्य के लिए अपूर्व शब्द का प्रयोग किया गया है। और अपूर्व का मतलब होता है अप टू डेट। जिस परिस्थिति में जब वो काम कर रहा होता है, ही हैज टू बी अप टू डेट। केवल पूर्व का होने से काम नहीं चलता। आज के युग के हिसाब से कौन सी चीजें हैं युगानुकूल, देशानुकूल, कालानुकूल, उन सारी चीजों को बना के कैसे हम अपने शिष्यों का सर्वांगीण विकास करने के लिए अपने आप को अच्छे से तैयार करते हैं। आंखें बंद करके शिक्षक जब तक स्वयं अंदर नहीं जाता, ध्यान में नहीं बैठता, अपनी उस अनुभूति को नहीं करता, तब तक बाहर से प्राप्त सूचनाओं को चाहे जितने प्रभावी ढंग से डिलीवर करे, उसके पीछे वह अनुभूति आए बिना, हृदय से निकली बात हुए बिना दूसरे के हृदय को स्पर्श नहीं कर पाएगी। इसलिए मेरी प्रार्थना है आप लोगों से कि अपना आध्यात्मिक विकास और साथ साथ लौकिक विकास, ये दोनों जब हम करते हैं तब हमको दूसरे के जीवन को गढ़ने का अवसर मिलता है। आदरणीय अनायत सर हम सबके बीच में हैं, जो इस विषय के अत्यंत मर्मज्ञ हैं। मैंने बहुत बार उनको सुना है। आदरणीय अजय पोद्दार जी, जो हमारे इस विश्वविद्यालय के प्रो वाइस चांसलर हैं, मैं उनको बहुत बधाई भी देता हूं और मेरे जैसे साधारण विद्यार्थी को इस कार्यक्रम में आमंत्रित करने के लिए धन्यवाद भी देता हूं। आदरणीय अनायत सर ने जिस प्रकार अपने को गढ़ा है, आध्यात्मिक व्यक्तित्व कैसे भौतिक दृष्टि से भी अत्यंत श्रेष्ठ व्यक्तित्व, हम सबके रोल मॉडल के रूप में वो हमारे बीच हैं। हम सब उनको सुनेंगे और अपने जीवन को तदनुरूप बनाने का प्रयत्न करेंगे। आप सबको प्रणाम करते हुए मैं अपनी बात पूरी करता हूं। धन्यवाद, सादर प्रणाम।
प्रणाम भाई साहब।
अब मैं हमारे माननीय रिस्पेक्टेबल वाइस चांसलर साहब को आमंत्रित करूंगा। उनसे पहले मैं उनका थोड़ा सा परिचय आप लोगों को दे दूं। बीटेक सिविल इंजीनियरिंग में एमबीएम इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज जोधपुर, एमटेक किया आईआईटी दिल्ली और पीएचडी किया आईआईटी रुड़की से जियो टेक्निकल इंजीनियरिंग में। अपने आप में एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है, having more than 35 years of teaching experience. राजस्थान टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी में वीसी 2016 से 19। उसके अलावा प्रो वाइस चांसलर, डीन इंजीनियरिंग, डीन मैनेजमेंट एंड डीन स्टूडेंट ऑफ वेलफेयर। मेरे लिहाज से कोई भी ऐसा क्षेत्र नहीं है जो हायर एजुकेशन का जो सर ने ना कंप्लीट किया हो। कंट्रोलर ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन, चेयरमैन बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडीज, RTU DAT MTech admission, कन्वीनर RMCAT इंजीनियरिंग एडमिशन, और एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण योजना थी भारतवर्ष में जिसने हर एक गांव को शहर से जोड़ा था। वो योजना थी PGSY, प्रधानमंत्री ग्रामीण सड़क योजना। सर उसके स्टेट कोऑर्डिनेटर रहे हैं। जहां तक अवार्ड की बात करूं, एजुकेशन एक्सीलेंस अवार्ड, लाइफ अचीवमेंट अवार्ड, इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग एंड वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट अवार्ड, प्राइड ऑफ राजस्थान। So please give a hand for our honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Neeraj ji. Chief guest of this 1 week faculty development program, holistic development and outcome-based teaching, Professor R.K. Anayat ji. Guest of honor, Dr. Umashankar Pachori ji. Honorable Chancellor Dr. Poonam Goyal ji. Pro-Chancellor Dr. Poonam Goyal ji, Pro-VC Dr. Ajay Poddar ji, Registrar Dr. Vinod Kumar ji, Dean Admission Dr. Jain ji, of the dais, all the deans, faculty members, departments. I welcome you all in this inaugural session of this 1 week FDP. It is a matter of great pleasure that in last 15 days, this is the 4th national activity we are organizing. First, the moot court competition, then launching of web-based Education Express channel. Then on 12th, the National Conference on Role of Technology in various sectors of society. And the fourth one is this FDP. So really, it is making a very vibrant academic environment in the university, and the faculty of OSGU is continuously striving for the academic enrichment and excellence. At this juncture, I feel it very relevant and appropriate to quote the name of Dr. Professor Sodhi, who has recently published 2 patents. I wish a grand congratulation to him, and definitely this will motivate other teachers also for such activities. It is a matter of, again, great pleasure that very overwhelming response to this FDP has been received. More than 500 registrations were received, and this really a great achievement and shows the recognition of the university, OSGU, all over the country. Another important, thank you. I wanted that all of you could clap for the achievement of Dr. Sodhi also. I would have been happy. Another important feature of this FDP is that very learned and experienced experts have been associated with this FDP. Many of them are very senior professors, and some of our have remained vice chancellor also. So the vice chancellor level of experts are associated with this FDP. As far as holistic development is concerned, in India, this is a very old concept. In old days, we know that there was a system of Gurukul. The student required to go in Gurukul, and they were also required to live in Gurukul. And you also know that these Gurukuls were used to be away from the populated areas. And there they have to remain away from their families. And the student were required to develop themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. As it was quoted in the speech of Dr. Pachori also, that we only develop physically, but we are also required to develop ourselves emotionally and spiritually. And they also used to learn how to earn their bread and butter and resolve the difficulties and get the excellence in the life. Few decades back, we had been talking of only the IQ, that is intelligent quotient. But nowadays, the emotional quotient and the spiritual quotient has also become very important. And you might have observed and might have heard and might have read that the companies which are hiring for the job now see or give emphasis 85% on the soft skill and only 15% on the technical skill. So the candidates who are having the good soft skills has good chances of selection, as well as they have good chances of success in their life. The soft skills come through holistic development only. A student who is passing from the universities or institutions should not only carry a paper of degree, but he should also carry the fully developed personality where she knows about the subjects and also carries values and sanskar of Indian culture. The values and sanskar can never be in the form of a certificate. These are the integral part or inbuilt part of the character and personality of the person. This can be possible only if we adopt a, an approach of holistic development of our students. The National Education Policy 2020 also lays emphasis on holistic development of the students. The provisions like multidisciplinary education, flexibility in the curriculum, provision of major and minor subjects, removing the strict boundaries of the specialization, and changing the mode of assessment are some of the provision which makes the holistic development of the students. The, the new education policy also lays emphasis for the students to understand their constitutional responsibilities, role of citizen in the society, and their concern with the national and its development. Nowadays, one of the very important fact that the status of the countries now we measure on the basis of happiness index. This happiness index may be comprised of a large number of parameters, but this also indicates the value system of the citizen of that country as a whole. I would like to give the a little data about that. At present, the Finland is at the top position as far as happiness index is concerned. USA is at 19, China is at 82, and unfortunately, India is at 136 in the happiness index. So definitely we have to look into this aspect, and we have to see that how this education system can improve the happiness index of our country. Outcome-based teaching is only the complementary part of our holistic development. Without learning outcomes, holistic development is not possible. Since long, in our institutions or in our universities, we are giving more emphasis on the teaching. A teacher goes to the class, gives his lecture, and the students write their examination and pass the subject. But in this process, it is never ensured that what the students have learned. If we are teaching the traffic rules in the class or traffic engineering in the class, but after passing this subject and a person who is driving a vehicle on the road and do not follow the traffic rules, so it is only a teaching, not the learning. If we teach a computer programming to a student, the student passes the examination, but after going to an organization, if he is not able to give the solution to the problems of the organization or not able to make the improvements in the system, then again it is teaching, not the learning. So definitely we have to think over it, and we have to give more emphasis on the learning. Then only it will be able to produce the good students. I hope that the 1 week FDP, in the various sessions, our experts will deliver their lectures on the various aspects, and definitely our faculty will be benefited by their experience. I appreciate the efforts made by organizing team to organize such a wonderful FDP on a very important topic. I congratulate the conveners, Dr. Mukesh Yadavji, Dr. Tanu Kukreja ji, and all the team members who have been associated in organizing this wonderful FDP. I'm thankful to Dr. Taneja ji also for uh, organizing this inaugural function. Thank you all. Jai Bharat. In the last, आज 14 फरवरी है. आपके चेहरों की मुस्कुराहट ये बता रही है कि शायद मैं आपको वैलेंटाइन डे की बधाई दूंगा, लेकिन नहीं. 14 फरवरी 2019 को पुलवामा में एक घटना घटी थी जिसमें हमारे 44 जवान जो है शहीद हुए. मैं उनके प्रति अपनी श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूँ. धन्यवाद.
जय हिंद सर, और बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका जो आज आपने तीसरी बरसी के बारे में उन शहीदों को नमन करवाया. साथ ही साथ आपने जो टीचिंग और लर्निंग का डिफरेंस हमें बताया है, उसके लिए आपका तहे दिल से, और हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स के बारे में आपने पूरे विश्व की जो स्केलिंग के बारे में हमें बताया, उसके लिए आपका आभार. नाउ द टाइम हैज कम to call upon our chief guest of the inaugural function of this faculty development program. इससे पहले मैं उनका थोड़ा सा परिचय आप लोगों को दे दूं. कर्नल कमांडेंट प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर राजेंद्र कुमार अनायत जी, वाइस चांसलर दीन बंधु छोटूराम यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, भगत फूल सिंह महिला यूनिवर्सिटी, हरियाणा स्टेट गवर्नमेंट यूनिवर्सिटीज. Proud to be a teacher, having a deep passion for teaching with an unstinted love towards printing, engineering, media, and sciences. Has donned the mantle, consequently, second time as the Vice Chancellor of Haryana State Government Science and Technology University, the Deen Bandhu Choturam University of Science and Technology, Murthal. In addition, he is having a charge of Vice Chancellor of Bhagat Phul Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, Khanpur Kala, Sonipat. Government of India granted him honorary colonel rank and appointed as colonial commandant at NCC. He also got President Print Award that is given by AIFMP, that is India Federation of Master Printers. He also got an award from Printing Industry of America, that is Global Academic Excellence Award in Chicago in the year 2011. First non-American to win this prestigious award, popularly known as Oscar in printing. Really, it is a matter of big hand. He is visiting professor to many Indian universities and produced 4 PhDs and 5 ongoing, associated with BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, TC 130 to develop standards for Indian print industry. Member of many Haryana government apex bodies like Haryana Education Council, Department of Science and Technology, AAC, Academic Advisory Committee, the Haryana Pond and Wastewater Management. He is a member of that panel also, a part and parcel of Indian education and dedicated whole life for academics, education and research. The unique combination of Dr. Anayat's dedication and hard work coupled with his academic achievement. मैं ज्यादा वक्त नहीं लेते हुए आमंत्रित कर रहा हूं हमारे मुख्य अतिथि राजकुमार अनायत जी को. ओवर टू राजकुमार अनायत जी.
Thank you, Dr. Saab, for a detailed introduction. Let me express my sincere gratitude and thanks to my long-time friend and a very good doctor, Dr. Puneet Goyal ji, our Chancellor of Home Sterling University, Dr. Poonam Goyal ji, the Pro-Chancellor of Home Sterling University, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, Pro-Vice Chancellor of MRIU, Faridabad, Somnath Sachdeva ji, VC Kurukshetra University, and I consider him as our teacher, Acharya Dr. U.S. Pachuri ji, Umashankar Pachuri ji. It is always a treat to listen him, but today I think he is somewhere in Kerala and he is not in a position to deliver the expertise what he has. Thank you, Vaisab. My respectful regards to the Vice Chancellor there, Professor Dr. N.P. Kaushik ji, equally respectable Professor Ajay Pudar ji, the Pro Vice Chancellor, and the coordinators, Dr. Mukesh and Dr. Thanu. And those people, their name is not mentioned in the program list, which I do not know, but my regards and affection to everyone who have assembled in this morning there. I want to share with you a little but different perspective on higher education today, because since we are all in the higher education field, I believe it is always better to know how our field is going to change in the coming time. This is what I was trying to project in the last maybe 1 year or so, exactly after that COVID pandemic, once it came. A couple of years ago, it would have been very difficult to address an audience in this way. Nobody is sitting in front of me, but I am called as the chief guest of a big function where 500 people are registered and many are sitting in front of the main podium where the program is going on now. But now all those tensions and feelings have gone in the last 1.5 years, because which taught me, even though I'm looking at my mobile and speaking to a dead screen, I know that there are quite a few number of people, they are listening me. The main advantage of this virtual system, what I found, instead of complaining, the individual listener can never disturb the other one. Not like unlike in a classroom where even 20 people managing such a group itself is difficult. But today, they can apply the typical three-monkey principle, either put off the camera, audio, and just don't listen. It's possible today. Able again, yeah.
So I believe that's why this is a better medium I found now for this kind of activities. You can save a lot of time. And I am very close to every individual because the bust is visible to all. My face is very close to every individual who are listening me, all the individuals who are listening me. So one thing what I learned is we have to change our language. I have to make a one-to-one talk. So if I make my communication one-to-one, its reachability is much better. This is what I learned. And the denominator has no meaning. Now, let it be 500, 5,000 or 1,000, whoever is listening me, that has no meaning because that's no way going to affect me. So this is another benefit of this way of communication. As long as our internet and speed, everything is fine, it goes very well. I want to share with you like how the higher education will look like maybe in another 30 years, because that is very important to all of us, because we are all in the higher education field. Before specifically focusing into an outcome-based education, which all the experts will talk later. I believe this is a very personal belief, nothing to do with my university, what I am representing, or the state where I am working. No, this is a personal projection and what my belief is. I believe by 2050, at least 90% of the student population will be pursuing online degree programs. Education will be truly democratized and globalized, with all kinds of students unhindered by age, social, geographical, or national boundaries. Because the reason is the entire education system will be powered by superfast quantum computing and communication networks. And virtual reality and augmented reality technologies will be so refined that they will enable all the online learners to have the same experience as their own campus counterparts in the coming time. After the post-COVID-19 scenario, I believe or I consider COVID is almost done now. That's what recently I met our PGI doctor who is in charge of the COVID in Haryana, and he's also a member of the national team. He told it is almost done. So once it is done by 2030, I believe there will be very, very few higher educational institutions. We don't need this many number of higher education institutions. I am making this statement not to make anyone fear. It's only to understand how the industry is going to change. Reason being, due to decreasing demand of courses delivered in the old-fashioned face-to-face mode and the massive switch to online learning, the number of on-campus students will drastically decrease in the coming time. The number of teachers will drop even faster. Overall student ratio of the future could be 100:1 or maybe 300:1. I don't know. I expect so. Today, AICT, UGC, they suggest 1:20, 1:15 for undergraduate, 1:25 or 1:30. I don't think that is needed in the coming time because the way how we communicate to our students are totally different. So the future majority university staff will be more of administrators such as marketing, admissions, planning, human resource, finance, legal, and IT professionals. This will be the bunch of people that are going to run a university. Most academic departments will employ a just handful of people, mainly to develop and maintain an online module and maybe occasionally to deliver a face-to-face lectures, some seminars, and tutorials with a human touch. Few years ago, I was thinking it is impossible to teach an objective science through online mode, but today that is not the case. I can teach physics I can teach mechanical engineering online because digital twin is available, augmented reality is there, virtual reality is there, which will give me more like a tactile feel. It is as good as learning on the machine. Experience have been changed. And the ability of the modern students, the new generation, the Z generation, that also changed a lot. Because a majority of the staff, however, I believe, I'm talking about after 20 years or 30 years, not to worry or fear about anything. So it could be robots or with the super intelligence in the coming time to deliver the content. Teacher robots will prepare courses, give lectures, answer questions and set and mark assignments and provide a timely and insightful feedback. They'll be able to detect plagiarism in students' work. Even if an idea is copied, it can be easily differentiated. And it can easily differentiate between assignments complete by them from a very, very clever apps. It's possible. There may also be research robots, which we have already seen. In Japan, they have recently published a couple of scientific publications in SCI journals, all written by robots, because they could prepare it. A lot of research proposals, which robots will prepare and publish in the coming time. So we don't need to waste our time much. It can conduct investigations and produce articles for dissemination in the coming time. Because robots will have the capacity to work tirelessly and will also do it without any extra cost. It's only a maintenance cost without no payment, 24 hours, 365 days. And I believe will therefore be championed by increasingly in the coming time a selfless, conscious leaders. So the future vice chancellors should be something like what Umashankarji said, like it's more of a rishi, selfless people who think about the society and how to develop things. That's all. It's more of a human touch. So the traditional rishis who bother only about betterment of the society and the people, they will get into leadership roles in the coming time. The system would almost completely displace the so-called teaching people, what we call today. Not to make fear anyone now, don't quote it, it will not happen tomorrow. It takes maybe 20 years, 30 years. It's very clear. Because we have seen what developments have happened in last 20 years. And wherever there is minimal need of human interaction, that would be done by a human. With fewer students pursuing courses delivered on a face-to-face fashion, students may have to pay a higher fee in the coming time for those who want to have an experience in the on campus. Because it's a privilege to meet a teacher and sit with him and enjoy. So they may have to pay a higher tuition fee. And I believe there will be no requirement for all the space what we are creating today and buildings. Here in the university where I am functioning now, we have around 283 acres in the GT road. It's a very, very expensive land and expensive place. So the question is in the future time, do I need this much space and infrastructure just to teach 1,000 students or 10,000 students or 20,000 students? I don't think. So many halls of residence, laboratories, lecture halls, and office blocks will be converted to maybe into some apartments, maybe wellness centers, and a nice park for the public to come and walk around, maybe some nice hotels. And campus sizes will shrink back to the pre-expansion period in accordance with the theory, what we call theory of inventive problem solving, TRIS, the typical Russian principle. So that would be the trend where transition from macro to the micro level. This is going to happen in the coming time. Please don't get shocked, because even now, this is far from a dystopian fantasy. But many of its elements are existing already today. For example, massive open online courses, MOOCs. When we started somewhere in 2006, nobody thought it would go in this way. but now it has reached everywhere. Recently, UGC has already suggested to deliver almost 40% of the content online. This is the beginning, but this is what they want to tell. To supplement my statement, I just want to give you a small example which happened 4 years ago. In the year 2018, Arizona State University, ASU, they launched an online general biology degree program in partnership with the Google and Labster. You know that Labster is the world's leader in virtual labs. So they tied up with the Labster and Google, and they run this particular biology program. And you know, the feedback what they got after completing the course program, 94% of the students were so happy. They told, we had a wonderful experience. It was really good. We wish to attend similar programs further. Because in this entire program, robots capable of reasoning and debating with the people and potentially acting as professors, and even they were able to find out if an idea is stolen, not just plagiarism, they were able to locate it and identify it. So these are the developments which are happening around us. We cannot avoid it. It's very, very clear. And there is a history professor from Tel Aviv, Israel. He has written, Yuval Noah Harari, he has written 3 interesting books. I mean, starting from Sapiens to the latest one, which he wrote on 21 lessons for the 21st century. It's a wonderful book. I cannot mention all the 21 lessons what he spoke about, but I can tell you 2, 3, which are very, very interesting to us, specifically on the topic what we are going to discuss in the next 1 week. He suggests there are 2, 3 changes which are really going to happen. One is because of this AI, which we all talk about AI, artificial intelligence, how this is, and machine data analysis, how this is going to change the world, which all of us know, no doubt. I know that you are all well aware of it because we are all going through industry 4.0. Japan has already moved to society 5.0. Focus is really changing. So one of the applications, something like maybe an artificial AI doctor. An AI doctor would be able to predict what kind of disease you will get maybe after 5 years or after 10 years. It's more of a predictive treatment which you can do now. Another thing, machine learning and AI together, big data analytics, it helps. I have seen that one of my friends in Germany and his friend, a doctor, he was telling, when a patient comes to him and when they do a scanning, maybe an MRI scanning, immediately put it into his app in his mobile, and this scanned image is cross-checked with the millions of images around the globe of a similar disease or a similar situation. It also checks what kind of treatment is given, what effect it has got, what is the best way, and how it affected the Asian countries, American countries, tropical countries, because they need to know the treatment cannot be same. And within a fraction of minutes, maybe 3 minutes time, by the time he completes the basic investigation of the patient, he gets the right treatment, what is to be used. So it would be the most appropriate thing. So in decision making, where the most intelligent person in this world can have an accuracy of 68% or not more than that. But AI-based decision system, when average accuracy is 74 and above. So you don't need to depend on even the most intelligent person when it comes to a decision. This is one advantage. Another thing, we are talking about values. Everybody was mentioning about values. One of the impact I can tell you, in the future, every automobile will be AI driven. You won't be allowed. Even in Delhi, I can predict in another 10 years time, you won't be able to enter Delhi city with your own car by driving yours. Impossible. It should be an AI driven car because they want to control it. Transportation will be the next communication. Most of the cities will offer circular systems where you may have to use it. Taking your car personal car into a city would be very, very costly. So no one will dare to do that. They may use the system there, or you may have to go with an AI driven car. So imagine a particular situation which Yuval Noah Harari is talking in his book. Suppose you are in your car, which is AI driven. Suddenly, a group of students jumped in front of your car. They are youngsters at the age of between 14 to 18. In a fraction of a second, my car has to take a decision whether it should hit the kids or it should turn to the left or right, hit on a wall or tumble into a valley and kill the owner himself. This is a big question. Because the owner like me or somebody else, the fourth phase of life, my car AI system has to take a decision. It is better to kill the owner himself than killing the kids because they have to contribute a lot in the coming time. So your own car may kill you in the coming time. We don't know. So we may have to define values in a very, very detailed manner and program it as a part of every AI system in the coming time. That's the importance of talking about value. Another thing, what I want to tell you, the democracy will never exist as it is, what we are talking today. Because democracy will not have any meaning. Sheer number has no meaning. All these years, it was not possible to touch inside my skin. But today, with all these AI systems and everything, it's possible to touch my skin, inside my skin. I mean, my will is not mine. My will is somebody else. Somebody else is deciding. Imagine when you search for a cheap ticket to Chennai, Delhi to Chennai, and you go to your Facebook, suddenly you will see lot of offers to cheap tickets to Chennai. How it has come? Because somebody is watching you, all your thinkings and desires and what you are doing around you. So it's not the way you think. You think that you know about you very well, but that's not the case. Maybe a public platform like this, maybe a Facebook, Twitter, they may be knowing much more about you than what you know about you. This is the situation. And your will can be easily touched by a third party. Yuval Noah Harari is again explaining a very interesting example in his book. He happened to be a gay. And when he was watching an advertisement for soft drinks, he saw a Pepsi ad, which was a traditional Pepsi ad where a beautiful girl and boy came and displayed it. And suddenly he saw a Coke ad in which a gay couple came and displayed it. The moment it happened, he noticed it. That incident ended up there. After a couple of days, when he walked into a supermarket near his home, he wanted to purchase some provisions. But in his list, there was no soft drink. But the moment he entered, he saw some beautiful bottles of Coke displayed on the top rack. He automatically went and picked it, put it in his basket. What does it mean? His will was touched and influenced by something 2 days ago. This is what is going to happen in elections. This is what is going to happen in many things around us. So many of your decisions are not yours. You think that it is yours. So we are going to live in a very, very different world in the coming time. It's not that what we think. So if this 20 years can have this much changes, I'm sure in another 30 years will change a lot. And why we talk about this outcome-based education, that's why the relevance of that comes here today. There are two components which are very, very important in learning. That is, number one, reflective learning, and another one is experiential learning, which we talk all the time. Experiential learning is something, a realization process, which you have to do. Nobody else. In India, we believe like nobody can teach anybody anything. It is only learning. The converting a student into a seeker, the seeker quality in a student is going to become the success of every individual disciple, every individual student. So one of the best things what I liked, I'm not a pseudo-scientist to justify everything in the past is right. No, that's not my job at all. But few components which can add value into the modern time, we should clearly adopt it. So in India, in Bharat, we never taught anyone anything. Every student, every disciple has to change himself into a seeker. The seeker mind is the right quality of a student. If you want to become a seeker, the option is an experiential learning. Unless and until you experience, you cannot. To make another thing, specifically for Indian students, what we have to focus, one of the NEP 2020 discussion forum, I was also focusing. One of the biggest issues, what I found with our students in India is their ability to fail a failure. Failure is very, very difficult for an Indian student to face. Reason being, they want everything in the first instant without having any failure. This is very, very wrong. You should not, those students who are listening me, I'm telling this to them. The day we are born, I tell you, you're a winner. Keep that with you. Because millions of sperms, they fought each other and one came out successfully. And that is what you and me. So we are already a winner. Even though we are a winner, one more point which you have to understand clearly is every life, the most intelligent person in this planet Earth and a congenital idiot on the road, everybody is a failure too. Reason being, one of the reality which all of us know is our death. If something which is constant in your life is your death, nobody can stop it. If you are born in this planet Earth, you will die. Even the most intelligent person couldn't do anything till today to save your life. One day you have to die. So this is the biggest failure which we have. And we know that we are going to fail. We are going to die one day. And you are not afraid of it. You never treat it as a failure. But the moment you get 38 out of 50 or 100, instead of 40, you got 38, you call yourself a failure. Some of the students, they commit suicide. They run away from family, get into lot of mental troubles. Why you want to look into this? It is a simple thing. It is a small measurement gauge set by a third party, and it is not the right way to measure you. You don't need to worry at all. So first, one quality which you need to develop yourself is how to face a failure, because failure is a part of every individual. In India, we have to focus this. So making number is not the purpose of learning at all. In India, we focus more into number, earning number. So number is not the game at all. It is all how you are going to understand the concept and how you are going to utilize it in your whole life. That is going to make you very, very different. So experiential learning will help you to come out of this kind of number game, because you know what you can do. Look at a small country like Israel. How many startups? 70% of the students, they never look for a campus placement at all. Campus placement is a small thing. It's every individual. Many companies, 60-70% of the companies there are all owned by 1 to 5 members, not more than that. They would have failed 4 times, 5 times, but still they do it. So this is the culture and thinkings which we have to bring into we have to imbibe into our day-to-day life. So experiential learning, outcome-based education will help you to develop this kind of quality in you. And another thing is, after experiential reflective learning, if you're not able to reflect what you learn, that learning has no meaning. I'm again telling, the seeker quality in you will help you to become reflective in everything. And if you want to be a real seeker, you need to have 3 qualities. These 3 qualities, again, I am taking from our tradition, which we can easily take. Number 1, you must be a Bhikshandehi. In Sanskrit, you can call it as Bhikshandehi. I mean, your mind should be something like a mendicant state. You must be like a Bhikshandehi. No bhikshu will look who is giving the bhiksha. It's immaterial to him. Maybe a 5-year-old small kid will come and give it to a bhikshu. He could be 70 years old or 90 years old. No problem. Happily you receive it. Knowledge is like that. You can receive it from a small kid. You can receive it from the oldest man in this universe. No issue. So you need to have the first quality, that is a bhiksham dehi in your thought process. Second thing is you must be an atmanveshi, something like a soul seeker, soul finder. Whatever you do, you need to find out a soul in that. If that is not there, there is no point. So try to find out. So what is soul? Then somebody asked Maharshi Ramatirtha, they asked it. So Ramatirtha said, the organizing principle that would bring you deeper, broader and wider principle in everything, that is called the soul in it. If that soul is not there, you cannot get it. So be a soul seeker, soul finder. And so, and the third and the most important thing is you should be a satyanvesh, in the sense, the truth finder, the truth seeker. These are the three fundamental qualities every student has to imbibe so that he can become a real seeker. So in the process of making you a seeker, the other two, I mean, subsets, what I said is one is outcome-based education, what you are going to learn in the coming time, the teachers, and outcome-based education is done through reflective learning and through experiential learning. Without experiential learning, nothing was given. And in India, one more small thing I want to tell before I conclude. In Bharat, all the examinations, whatever we conducted, was not to make someone a winner. They want to make somebody first a failure and declare him as a winner in life. This is one of the best way of making someone a real successful person in his life. For a small example, I can tell you, when Arjuna was doing a tapas in front of Lord Shiva, after some time, Parvati went and told Shiva, your disciple is in Ghora tapas, I mean Kathin tapas since many days and months. Why don't you go and bless him? So both of them, took up the form of a tribal man and a tribal woman. They disguised, and then they went to him. And to cut the long story short, a small, I think a wild boar was going in front of Arjuna. Both of them shot an arrow, both Arjuna and Shiva. And when the arrow hit on the wild boar, it killed, no doubt. So Arjuna claimed it is mine, and the tribal man claimed it is mine. And they started a fight. First, they started with the bare hand, then with their archeries, then with mashchets, gada, I don't know, all kinds of equipment they used. And they fought a huge war between one and one. And Arjuna got finished at the last. He completely finished. He was thinking, and he got disgusted. He was thinking, I was thinking I'm the world's best archery expert, but I couldn't even make a win with a tribal man in the forest. What I did all these days. And he was almost collapsed down, and he tried to worship some flowers where he was doing his tapas penance. He throws some flowers in the feet of Lord Shiva, Shivalinga, what is kept there. Instead of going that flowers in the Shivalinga, it went to the tribal man's feet. So he suddenly realized, oh, it could be my Lord Shiva. He told, oh, it's my mistake, I'm sorry. So what he want, Lord Shiva suddenly told him that I have never fought with anyone like you. You are so strong and so good. And he declared him as the winner of you are the best archery expert in this world. And blessed him with a very special weapon called Pashupadastra, which we know from our history. Scriptures. It's a small story, not to talk about anything. I want to quote this event because in this it is proved he want to say that he never allowed him to say that I am the winner. He never gave 100 out of 100 in the examination. The examination was to prove him that you are a failure. And after that failure, he made him understand, no, you are not a failure. You are a successful man. You are a winner. And you are the best. And he gifted him the best. So this concept all children should understand. A mere number has nothing to do in life, because the life is something totally different, where every one of you are a winner. Every one of you are very, very unique, because you don't need to become anything other than what you are, because there is only one person like you. Once you are, once you are born in this planet Earth, the Creator has broken that mold, because they need only one person like you. So you don't need to compare with anyone, or you don't need to go anywhere in the other way, because you are a winner. He wants you as what you are, in the form and shape what you are. So be confident of it. Be, truthful to yourself, and try to do a right approach to see that your family, your village, your state, your country, that everything progress. The ultimate aim of any education is overall development of the society, nothing else. It's not just making money or taking an MNC job somewhere and running away from somewhere. No, that's not the purpose of it. So in the new education policy, NEP 2020, these outcome-based education systems, I'm sure we have all these opportunities. And you people are the lucky people, the new generation. In the coming time, one more point I want to tell you, otherwise I will forget. In another 5 years' time, there will not be any difference between the so-called government university or a private university. There is no difference. It all depends on what kind of standards you are maintaining, what kind of accreditations you have. That's the only thing. Even a government university cannot exist unless and until they are accredited with apex bodies like NAC or NBA or any kind of or QS ranking systems or whatever it is. And I have seen the growth of Home Sterling University as a as a small college, maybe a decade or 15 years ago when I visited them first time. I'm sure Dr. Puneet Goyal will remember all this. And from that small institution to the growth of a established university is wonderful to see. The journey is wonderful. And it would be in the list of something like what you talk about today, General University, Ashoka University, and Home University will come into that line. Nobody will look any of these universities as whether it is a government branded or a private brand. All depends on the quality and the content of what you are going to deliver. And to happen that this kind of trainings and programs are very, very, very important. And without talking much now, I don't know, because I didn't have a script in my hand. What came from my heart, I just shared with you. If it could bring some sense to you, I have done my day. So thank you so much for inviting me as the chief guest in this very, very important program. And all the organizers and Dr. Puneet Goyalji and every team members, my pranam and thanks.
Thank you very much, sir, for your blessings, and you spoke like not like a teacher but an awakener. So thank you very much once again. As a step forward, knowledge and skills of teachers, researchers under the changing scenario need to be refreshed and adopted. So therefore, Om Sterling Global University has initiated its 4th FDP. Please give a big hand for our family. Formally, I would like to invite our registrar sir for vote of thanks. We have been less of time, so I would request quickly to sir for vote of thanks, because at 11:45 we have the another session.
Very good morning to all of you. Education is the most powerful, or you can say profitable, investment in this present scenario and near the future. And I can say an ignited mind is the most powerful weapon on this earth. Above this earth, can also say under the earth also. And these such type of FDPs which we are conducting presently for a week are play a very pivotal role to ignite such type of minds or brain. I'm not taking so much time. Respected all the dignitaries sitting on the dais and joined with us with a virtually mode. As our chief guest or our guest of honors mentioned that the teaching, learning, or the development in a teacher or a student should be outcome based, and that's why these such type of FDPs has been conducted at various stages. I just narrated a small story here. एक बार एक राजा का बेटा, मैं कुछ चीजें जो हमारे चीफ गेस्ट ने और गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर्स ने अपनी डिस्कशन में थोड़ा सा एलोबरेट करना चाहा है कि हमारी संस्कृति कैसी रही है, एक टीचर को कैसा होना चाहिए, या समथिंग एल्स। उसी से नरेटेड मैं थोड़ी सी एक छोटी सी स्टोरी बताना चाह रहा हूं आपको। एक बार एक राजा का बेटा, पुराने टाइम में हमारी संस्कृति में गुरुकुल में पढ़ने जाते थे, वहां पढ़ने के लिए गया। कुछ टाइम के बाद उसकी जो नगरी थी वहां पर मैसेज आया कि राजकुमार जी बहुत ही शिक्षा में पारंगत हो चुके। राजा को बड़ा गर्व महसूस हुआ और उस गर्व के दौरान उसने अपनी नगरी में मुनादी करवा दी कि भी फला फला टाइम पे मेरा बेटा वापस आ रहा है और वो इतना पारंगत हो चुका है कि कोई भी ज्ञानी और गूढ़ी आदमी उससे कोई भी प्रश्न पूछ सकता है, वो बता सकता है। जैसा कि हम FDPs में या अपनी लर्निंग में कहते हैं कि मैं सो कॉल्ड हमने वो डिग्री अटेन कर ली है, वो कर ली है और अब हमारी अच्छी नॉलेज होगी। लेकिन इसके साथ साथ मैं बताना चाहूंगा आपको कि कुछ हमारी डेवलपमेंट में और कुछ लर्निंग में शायद कहीं कुछ गैप है, जिसकी वजह से इस टाइप की सिचुएशन आ जाती हैं, जैसा कि अभी राजकुमार के साथ हुआ। तो राजा का दरबार सजा था, सभा बैठी हुई थी, राजकुमार को पेश किया गया और कुछ ज्ञानियों ने उनसे बड़े बड़े प्रश्न पूछे और नो डाउट राजकुमार ने बड़े अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया और बड़ा सभी को जो ना वाहवाही करने का मौका मिला और राजा का भी सीना गर्व से चौड़ा हो गया। तब एक कोई घोड़ी आदमी कह सकते हो या जैसे हमारे चीफ गेस्ट और गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर कह सकते हो, ऐसे किसी पर्सन ने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा। उन्होंने कहा कि मेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है। तो पहले हमारी जो शिक्षा होती थी वो केवल और केवल एग्जाम बेस्ड नहीं होती थी, कुछ सैद्धांतिक तौर पे, कुछ अंगणित तौर पे, कुछ एस्ट्रोलॉजी, कुछ और बहुत सारी चीजों के ऊपर बेस्ड होती थी जो कि पहले सिखाई जाती थी। तो जो राजकुमार था उसने बड़ा ही गहन गूढ़ अध्ययन करने के बाद उस एक आंसर पर पहुंचा और उसने बताया कि आपकी मुट्ठी में कुछ गोल गोल है। तो उस पर्सन ने कहा कि हाँ, कुछ आप नजदीक पहुंचे हैं आप, लेकिन इसको और थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करें। तो उसने कोशिश करके फिर थोड़ा सा ध्यान लगाया और उसने कहा कि उस गोल गोल में एक छेद भी है। उसने कहा बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं आप, लेकिन उस पर्टिकुलर चीज के बारे में बताइए कि क्या है वो। तो अनायास ही एकदम से राजकुमार ने मुंह से निकाला कि रथ का पहिया। नो डाउट उसकी जो शिक्षा थी वो वाकई में एक रिजल्ट के ऊपर पहुंची, क्योंकि उस पर्सन ने अपनी मुट्ठी के अंदर अपनी अंगूठी छुपा रखी थी। वो अंगूठी गोल गोल भी थी और उसके अंदर एक छेद भी था। इतनी उसकी जो सत्यता थी वो बिल्कुल ठीक थी, प्रमाणित थी, उसकी शिक्षा के ऊपर बिल्कुल वो खरा उतरा था। लेकिन एक छोटी सी कमी रह गई। अगर वो थोड़ा सा इतना ध्यान कर लेता, उसके अंदर कॉमन सेंस भी अगर होती साथ में, जिसकी कि शायद मैं आज अपनी शिक्षा के अंदर मैं भी कमी महसूस करता हूँ, कई बार फील होता है कि वो कम से कम इतना जरूर समझ जाता कि मुट्ठी के अंदर रथ का पहिया कम से कम नहीं आ सकता, तो शायद वो किसी और नतीजे पे पहुंच जाता। तो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, मैं आप सबको इस कहानी के माध्यम से सिर्फ और सिर्फ इतना बताना चाहता हूं कि हम जो लर्निंग कर रहे हैं, जो अभी जो कि हमारे अर्लियर स्पीकर्स ने भी जो ना मेंशन किया है बार बार, आउटकम बेस्ड लर्निंग, तो डेट हैज टू बी पर्टिकुलरली डिपेंड अपॉन द आउटकम्स। और वो हमारी टीचर्स या जितने भी हमारे ज्ञान, जहां से भी हम ज्ञान प्राप्त करते हैं वहां से हमें इस तरीके से लेना चाहिए कि हम अपनी चीजों को सुव्यवस्थित ढंग से एक्सप्रेस कर सकें। नाउ आई एम नॉट टेकिंग सो मच टाइम। ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी, I, Dr. Vinod Kumar, deem it a great honor and privilege to stand before you to deliver the vote of thanks First of all, I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Rajendra Kumar Anayatji, the Vice Chancellor of the D. Crest Murthal Sonipat. Sir, really, we are very much enlightened with your knowledge and the presence and the way by which you explain the topic by taking the so much example is really an exemplary for us. I also wish to express my gratitude to our guest of honor, Dr. Uma Shankar Pachori, the General Secretary, Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal, Nagpur. Really, sir, your talk is also encourages us and feel to be a part of this Indian society and the rich Indian culture. Thank you, sir, for being a part of this event. I am also very grateful to our Honorable Chancellor, sir, Dr. Puneet Goyal, and Pro-Chancellor, ma'am, Dr. Poonam Goyal, for giving us an opportunity to organize such type of faculty development program and stand with us for continuous support. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I'm also thanks to our worthy Vice Chancellor and Pro-Chancellor who also give us the various ideas to conduct this FDP to our faculty members and the other faculty from the various institutions and the public. Thank you, sir, for being with us. I heartily express my gratitude to all the delegates and the participants for their active participation because without their presence, this FDP can't be success. Thank you, all of you. As you all know, no program can be success with a single person. I express my big thank to all the organizing team, convener, and the sporty staff, and all the volunteers who make their whole efforts to make this FDP grand success. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. For the down of each poet, each philosopher and king begins with a teacher and the wisdom they bring. So thank you very much all. पुलवामा के शहीदों को श्रद्धांजलि देते हुए नेशनल एंथम के साथ हम आज के लिए विदा लेंगे इनॉग्रेल सेशन के लिए 11:45 पे फर्स्ट सेशन स्टार्ट होगा डॉक्टर गुलाटी पर्सनल एंड प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट स्किल्स 11:45
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you very much.
Jai Hind.